The history of the settled systems is a tapestry woven with threads of adventure, exploration, and wonder, and darker strands of conflict, tragedy, and greed. Join me on this journey as we explore the rise and fall of civilizations among the stars, beginning where it all started, Earth. Our journey begins on Earth, at the NASA launch pad, where humanity first reached for the stars. It was from here that we took our first giant leap toward a new frontier, landing on Mars in the year 2050 AD. At the time, Mars was the most practical target for exploration. Its rocky red surface lay within manageable distance from Earth, and unlike the scorching inferno of Venus, it was possible with the technology of the day to survive on the surface of Mars. This was a pivotal moment, marking humanity's determination to expand beyond our home world. 50 years later, by 2100, permanent outposts in space were established. We were no longer mere visitors to the stars. We were becoming residents. In 2112, Deimos star yards, driven by the rich ore deposits found on Mars, founded the oldest surviving human settlement, Cydonia. Nestled within the canyons of Mars, Cydonia became a bustling mining colony. The upper levels were dedicated to trade and residential life, while the lower levels dug deep into the Martian soil, mining the valuable ore that fueled humanity's burgeoning presence in the cosmos. Deimos star yards and its resources would later become critical in the grand exodus from Earth, crafting the ships that would carry our species into the stars. Next, we journey to Titan, a moon of Saturn. In 2130, NASA commissioned the Titan Astrobase to search for signs of life in its methane pools, though the search was defunded by 2132 due to lack of results. By 2135, the Astrobase found a new purpose, researching the necessities of off-world living. It laid the groundwork for how humans would survive on distant worlds, providing insight into obtaining food, water, and shelter in harsh environments. This research was critical in preparing humanity for life far from the cradle of Earth. Then, in 2138, humanity experienced a pivotal breakthrough. Dr. Victor Isa, an astronaut who discovered the first known artifact on Mars, invented the Grav drive, revolutionizing space travel. But this great leap forward came with a dire consequence. The experimental drive altered the Earth's magnetic field, causing the atmosphere to be slowly lost to space. By 2150, the world realized it was living on borrowed time, with only 50 years of habitability remaining. This grim reality spurred humanity to venture further into the unknown. By 2156, humanity reached Alpha Centauri, our nearest celestial neighbor. This binary star system with its planets and moons, offered 2 worlds with breathable atmospheres, a blessing for a species on the run from its dying homeworld. In 2159, the United Colonies were established, and the following year, the first hopeful colonists from the ship Galileo founded New Atlantis on the planet of Jemison. Declared the capital of the settled systems in 2161, New Atlantis became a beacon of human civilization among the stars. It was here that the Centaurus Proclamation was issued, allowing any UC citizen the right to settle planets across the galaxy and establish independent colonies, a decision the UC would later come to regret. Our journey takes us to the Cheyenne system. In 2167, Soloman Coe, an astrophysicist from Wyoming and a brilliant starship designer, discovered Cheyenne and settled on Akila, naming the system after Wyoming's capital. His exploration and leadership eventually laid the foundation for the Freestar Collective. In 2185, NASA, having completed its mission at the Titan Astrobase, transitioned the site from a research facility to a historical landmark. The Astrobase's mission to explore off-world living had laid critical groundwork for humanity's expansion into harsh environments, and its legacy continued through New Homestead. This small colony quickly became a key player in supplying vital resources, particularly hydrocarbons like methane, crucial for sustaining various colonies across the settled systems. Its strategic importance was underscored by the establishment of the Brown Horse Tavern, the oldest restaurant in the settled systems, and a museum dedicated to preserving the rich history of the Astrobase and early space exploration. New Homestead stands as a living monument to humanity's enduring spirit of exploration and pioneering efforts that paved the way for further interstellar colonization. This preservation of both historical artifacts and the spirit of adventure embodies the legacy of those who ventured into the unknown. Our journey next takes us to the planet of Neon in the Volii system. In 2187, the food manufacturer Xenofresh, known for its fishing platforms, repurposed its operations into a thriving colony. The fish harvested from Neon contained a rare compound with extraordinary properties, eventually processed into the illegal drug Aurora. Despite the controversial nature of Aurora, the colony on Neon flourished. Its vibrant economy grew from the trade of this unique substance, turning Neon into a bustling hub of tourism and commerce. By 2189, Coe had convinced the system of Volii to join his new alliance, forming the Freestar Collective, a confederation that stood apart from the United Colonies, prioritizing independence and freedom. House Varun was founded in 2190 by Xian Varun after a colony ship from New Atlantis went missing. Following a vision that Xian believed to be a divine revelation, he established a theocratic faction dedicated to interpreting and enacting the tenets of his vision. This vision, encapsulated in the Varun prayer of the Litanies of the Promise, spoke of a divine journey and the promise of eternal embrace. House Varun's headquarters, Dazra on Varun Kai remain a closely guarded secret, symbolizing their mystical and enigmatic nature. The house emerged as a powerful and influential faction within the settled systems, known for its religious fervor and distinct separation from the more secular political entities. In 2194, tensions reached a boiling point. The UC positioned a star station, the Clinic, in orbit around Deepala in the Narion system. The unaligned peoples of Narion saw this as a UC power grab and demanded its removal. When the UC refused, Narion joined the Freestar Collective, sparking the Narion Wars in 2196. For 20 years, this conflict played out like a game of cat and mouse, with battles erupting in the space above the planets of Narion. In 2216, after a grueling campaign and waning public support, the UC Navy cornered the Freestar fleet and delivered a crushing blow. This victory was empty, and the UC was forced to come to terms with the Freestar Collective or risk unrest at home. The war ended with the Treaty of Narion, limiting both the UC and the Freestar to 3 settled systems each. Back on Neon, in 2232, the Generidine Corporation, led by Felicia Corbin, further boosted Neon's prominence. She spearheaded the construction of the Conduction Grid, a groundbreaking infrastructure designed to shield Neon from its intense electrical storms and provide the city with a near-infinite power supply. This development cemented Neon's status as an economic powerhouse and a beacon of innovation in the settled systems. As peace settled over the systems, a new threat emerged. 2 years before, in 2230, the descendants of a lost colony ship revealed themselves as House Varun, a zealous theocracy led by Xian Varun. His followers believed in the prophecy of the shrouding and declared the rest of humanity to be heretics. In 2240, Xian Varun declared the Serpent's Crusade, an all-out war against the rest of civilization. The conflict raged until 2263, ending only with Xian's death and his son Jarek suing for peace. The Varun Embassy, established in New Atlantis following the Serpent's Crusade, was intended as a symbol of reconciliation and diplomacy between House Varun and the settled systems. However, due to widespread public outcry and ongoing internal conflicts within the Varun, the embassy gradually fell into disuse, leaving only Ambassador Balmore to occupy its halls. In the midst of the Serpent's Crusade, another faction rose from the chaos, the Crimson Fleet. In 2241, Jasper Kryx, a prisoner at the Lock, a UC prison, instigated a riot that spiraled out of control. Seizing the opportunity, Kryx and several inmates broke free, hijacked a few ships, and captured the Key, a star station orbiting above the Lock. With the UC forces distracted by the ongoing war with House Varun, Kryx and his followers established a base of operations for piracy, raiding UC shipping lanes and spreading terror across the stars. Thus, the Crimson Fleet was born, a lawless faction that thrived in the shadows, growing bolder and more dangerous with each passing year. The The fragile peace didn't last. By 2307, the Freestar Collective began farming on the planet Vesta in the Lunara system, violating the Treaty of Narion. In retaliation, the UC laid siege to Vesta, launching a brutal and unforgiving campaign. When the Freestar forces refused to surrender, the UC decided to end the conflict decisively. In a chilling display of power, they bombarded Vesta, killing all who remained. The massacre at Vesta underscored the ruthlessness of the UC, willing to sacrifice lives to maintain control. The Battle of Niira, a pivotal conflict in the colony wars, began in 2308 when the United Colonies seized the planet of Niira in the Narion system, deploying devastating xeno-weapons to capture the world. Niira, once a thriving colony, faced overwhelming force as the UC unleashed these modified aliens designed to decimate defenses and subdue its inhabitants swiftly. The initial onslaught proved highly effective, leading to the rapid UC occupation of the planet. In response, the Freestar Collective rallied their forces, deploying mechanized weapons platforms, or mechs, to reclaim Niira. The war raged for years as the elite 1st Cavalry, led by the formidable Major Paxton Hall, spearheaded the counteroffensive. Their relentless efforts gradually pushed the UC forces back, reclaiming over 90% of the planet. Despite their successes, the relentless battle left Niira scarred and desolate, its surface marred by craters and rendered largely uninhabitable. The struggle epitomized the brutal nature of the colony wars and the high cost of interstellar conflict. The Battle of Cheyenne, a defining clash in the colony wars, erupted in 2311 and marked a turning point in the conflict. The Freestar Collective orchestrated a daring tactic against the United Colonies, deploying a flotilla of both civilian and military ships to defend the Freestar capital. These forces employed hit-and-run tactics with remarkable effectiveness, targeting and dismantling key UC Navy vessels. This battle showcased the ingenuity and tenacity of the Freestar Collective, leveraging their diverse fleet to inflict significant damage on their more formidable adversaries. Amidst the chaos, UC Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon faced intense criticism for his orders to engage civilian ships, a decision that led to considerable loss of life and intensified the war's brutality. The aftermath of the battle saw Sanon convicted of war crimes and executed, a stark reminder of the conflict's devastating consequences. The Battle of Cheyenne effectively crippled the UC's ability to sustain its military operations, leading to a shift in the war's dynamics and setting the stage for the end of the colony wars. The Colony War ended in 2311 with the signing of the Armistice. In addition to ending hostilities between the settled system's two main powers, the Armistice introduced several measures designed to prevent future conflicts and foster stability. First, it imposed strict limits on the size and number of military fleets that the signatories could maintain, effectively curbing the potential for large-scale warfare. Secondly, the Armistice mandated a ban on both mechs and xeno warfare, which had been central to the brutal conflicts of the Colony War. To ensure compliance and safeguard against future misuse, all existing information on mech engineering and xeno-warfare research was consolidated into a secure storage facility known as the Armistice Archives, located in New Atlantis. Access to this facility required approval from all representatives of all signatories, a step taken to reinforce trust amongst parties involved. While the Freestar Collective's agreement to house the archives in New Atlantis was seen as a gesture of goodwill, it remains a source of tension for some UC citizens who view it as a perpetual reminder of their defeat in the Colony War. Despite its non-involvement in the Colony War, House Varun chose to become a third signatory of the Armistice. Their participation was significant in underscoring a broader commitment to peace and stability across the settled systems, aligning with the new order established by the treaty. Ryujin industries ascended to prominence during the tumultuous years of the Colony War, capitalizing on the conflict's demand for advanced technologies. The company's flagship product, the NeuroAmp, played a pivotal role in its rapid rise. By 2311, amidst the ongoing war, Ryujin completed construction of its towering headquarters in Narion, symbolizing not only its economic might, but also its strategic importance. Despite the chaos and strife, Ryujin's success stood in stark contrast to the struggles of the Freestar Collective and the broader turmoil of the Colony Wars, cementing its role as a powerful corporate force in the settled systems. Londinion, a major city established during the Colony War, was meant to be a beacon of hope and resilience for the United Colonies. Settled on the planet of Toliman II, Londinion's strategic location made it a hub for military and logistical operations, supporting the UC's war effort against the Freestar Collective. The city quickly grew, filled with bustling marketplaces, military installations, and a diverse population of colonists, soldiers, and engineers. However, its importance also made it a prime target for both conventional attacks and more unconventional threats. It was here, in the dense urban sprawl of Londinion, that one of the most horrifying tragedies of the Colony War unfolded, a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the unknowns of space. In 2311, the city of Londinion fell victim to a catastrophic terramorph outbreak. These alien creatures, bred and weaponized through the UC's controversial xeno-warfare programs, turned against their creators in a devastating twist of fate. In a matter of hours, Londinion was overrun and the city descended into chaos and terror. With no hope of containing the outbreak, Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon made a grim decision to order the bombing of Londinion's spaceport to prevent the terramorphs from escaping the planet. The resulting bombardment obliterated the spaceport and much of the city around it, sealing the fate of those who remained. Thousands perished in the inferno, their dreams and lives lost in the ashes of a desperate military maneuver. The tragedy of Londinion became a dark chapter in the history of the settled systems, serving as a haunting lesson on the risks of unchecked ambition and the unpredictable horrors that lie beyond the frontier. Amidst these conflicts, there were still those who dreamed of exploration and discovery. In 2275, Sebastian Banks founded Constellation, a guild of explorers devoted to seeking out the unknown reaches of space. During the height of the colony wars in 2310, Constellation comes into possession of their first artifact and tucks it away in the Constellation archives. This spirit of adventure endures even as humanity grappled with its own darker impulses. The UC Vanguard was established in 2315 as a response to the Freestar Collective's use of civilian ships during the Colony War. Designed as the United Colony's own civilian navy, the Vanguard relies on civilians who volunteer their ships to protect UC interests. In exchange for their service, these volunteers were promised citizenship within the United Colonies, cementing their role as a vital yet unconventional part of the UC military strategy. And so, our story brings us to the year 2330, where the events of Starfield begin. The settled systems remain a fragile web of alliances, dreams, and dangers, ever on the brink of a new discovery or a new conflict. What stories will you uncover among the stars?